Hi, this is Kara.
And this is KT,
Welcome to Life in the Party.
your unofficial guide to growing up and having fun.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. We are going to spend some time talking about moving in with your partner. I would say most of the perspective of this conversation is going to be about like moving in with your boyfriend. We don't really have the male perspective because you guys aren't really sharing that with us on our social media. It's kind of your fault. But anyway, so Katie made a big life decision like halfway through the year almost, where she moved in with Daniel. So we thought it could be like a good little check-in point, ask her from her perspective how that was, and just kind of talk about like in general what that looks like in 2025. I think millennials and Gen Z are probably doing things a little bit differently than Gen X and baby boomers. And we asked you guys some questions on our Instagram. So we're going to share those poll results with you. And then we'll get into some data about moving in and cohabitation and marriage and things like that. So thanks for
Perfect.
tuning in.
Yeah, and thanks for tuning in. We're done.
Okay. Katie, you moved in with Daniel like April/May, right, of
Yes.
this year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk a little bit about maybe like what that was like for you? Like what kind of decision? Did it feel like a big decision? Did it feel like it just made sense? And then what has it been like? Like what were your expectations of what moving in with your boyfriend would be like and what's the reality?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we've been living together since like April-ish, May. We had a little bit of offsetting leases, so there was like a transition period of my stuff moving in, then his stuff moving in, and then bringing it all together. But let's see, at that point, we were dating over 2 years, and I've been living alone for most of it, which was my first time ever really living alone. I enjoyed it. I did enjoy living alone. It was nice to sort of like have like solo, I don't say solo time, but like make your space how you want it, not have to worry about integrating it with five different people, etc.,
Are you talking about
etc.
me?
No. I mean, I did live with you. I live with a lot of people, so like
Okay, flex.
just sort of like having it be yourself, the whole
Yeah.
space, not just your bedroom. So,
Yeah.
like, I did enjoy that. That was nice. But I also realized that's very expensive. And it's kind of a little lonely. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
cool to sort of like have that space for yourself to do like what you want to do at all times. But like, I've realized, I think, after living alone, that I miss living with people. And not that that was a part of the decision to move in with Daniel. That was like secondary to like once we started living together, I realized I was like, I love having people around.
Yeah.
So like living with him, even though he travels like a good amount, has been like super nice because it's like I come home and there's someone there to talk to. I'm not like texting on the phone if we're not hanging out that day or he's out of town or like whatever. Then we were at the point where I was like, we could move in together, we could not. And then I was just like, you know what? I think it would be fun. I've never lived with a partner. I have lived with guys before. So I was like, I think it would be like an of interesting new step in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let's do it. And we talked about it the year prior, and I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, no, I don't want to. I still want to live by myself. And I was like,
Yeah.
totally fine and everything. I did get a cheaper rent, so that made it a little bit easier financially. But
Yeah.
I was like, no, I want to live by I live by myself again. And then this past year, I was like, no, I don't, not anymore. I'm ready to like move in. Let's do it. And it's really nice. Like I have enjoyed it a lot, partially because like I love the social aspect and coming home and talking about work and like kind of what I would do with you when I lived with you. I would just walk in from work and then jump in Kara's bed while she was finishing work and then talk about my day. And you're like, I'm still working. And then I would be like, okay. And then I would leave. But like, I just, I have two cats now that I'm living with, which is really cute and sweet. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's been fun to sort of like merge what we have together and like put up some art here, put some up here, like sort of create this little like, I like nesting. I don't know if that's like the right word, but like it's been fun to sort of maneuver that. And I like it a lot. I enjoy living together. It's fun. And I
Mm-hmm.
think we get to like just casually hang out without it, you know, me staying at his place and bringing over my face stuff or his coming up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so like,
All the like planning and logistics it takes. Yeah. Yeah.
it's been really nice.
That's awesome. So it sounds like for you, it just kind of like made sense. Like you're like, I had that like living alone experience. You're not someone who really like is like, I need to have all this alone time. Some people are like that. You're not really like that.
I don't mind it, but it would be different, I think, if I could afford it more, you
Yeah.
know? But it is on the expensive side for what I was making. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I can save like $700 a
More.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just living with him, which is obviously I didn't do it initially because I still wanted to be by myself. So it wasn't like I was
Yeah.
pressured just for money. But like, if I was making more than I was, maybe I would have like, been really vibing or something. But
Yeah.
I still miss the social part of it, so that's fine. But
Yeah. There's more benefits than like cost, I guess. Like for you
yes.
to move in with somebody, yeah. But I know
Mm-hmm.
people who like love like are like, I have to have my alone time. Like I feel like Steph was kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like my friend Paige is a little bit like that. Like they really value like their time to like
They're
recharge.
solo. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's different personalities that like I think it kind of like
Mm-hmm.
I don't picture as someone who's like, don't talk to me until I've had 8 hours. Like you're like a little the opposite.
I was like, talk to
Um,
me so I can recharge. But we do
yeah,
have like part of the decision moving in together was that we got a 2-bedroom apartment so that we
yeah,
could have separate spaces. Because
yeah,
before it was just a bedroom and a living room, and then like at the time I was working from home when he is not traveling, he's sometimes at home, and so it's like just a lot of the same space. So I think having that separate room creates more like separation sometimes,
yeah.
where we're not having to like be exactly in the same pace at exactly the same time, always like this around. So it's just a little space, which I think is nice for, I think, couples that move in together to have like a little bit of separate spaces
Hmm.
for whenever you want to do things alone. You don't have to be in the exact same room doing them alone. When someone's playing like video games and you want to watch something else, it's not like, doesn't create that like conflict. You can kind of like separate a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna like ask a couple questions. What's something that like surprised you the most? That like you moved in together, something that like maybe like came up and you're like, I didn't think about that, or like I didn't expect that, or like it could be like anything. Like it could be like positive connotation, like an annoyance. It could be like something that you were like, I don't know, just something that surprised you.
Um, I know a big one is we only have one bathroom, which is fine. But Daniel loves to take very long showers. So like in the morning, I always have to like wake up and like do all my stuff like early and then like go back in bed and lay down so he can go sit in the shower for an hour. And then I can go in. It's like
Like, are you trying to like
timing,
walk your face, wash
like
your
go to the
face?
bathroom, put my contacts in and stuff. So I'm like,
Oh,
we have to like, do you have to go to the bathroom? Do you have to go to the bathroom? Like
do you guys not share the bathroom yet?
now when I'm showering, no, I don't want to.
Really?
That's not a no, not good. If it was
Interesting.
like,
Okay.
well, like, so our apartment does have like in the area near the pool, there is like an extra bathroom there. So it's like an
Hmm.
emergency bathroom or something. But like, no, if I'm showering, I don't want someone peeing next to me. Sorry.
I mean,
Is
okay,
that what you
I
meant?
don't want that, but like it happens.
Well, no,
So
I'll
it's
go
just
in and
interesting.
like brush my teeth and stuff. Like that's fine. But like to go to
Yeah.
the bathroom, no, no,
But
not
what
really.
about like
No.
you said you doing like your contact lens thing?
Well, that's much just like go to the bathroom and stuff so I can like see. And then it's like, okay, well,
Hmm.
I'm actually ready to like wash my face and brush my teeth. And if he's still in there, I'll just like go in and do all
Okay.
that stuff there. But it's like that dance of the mornings. So highly recommend 2 bathrooms for the mornings
I
at
will
least.
also say like something that I like I knew that I cared about when Ryan and I first moved in together in DC was we had like the double vanity, like we each had our own sink.
Mm-hmm.
I really was like, yeah, I really want that, right? Well, when we were looking for a place to live in Atlanta, that was still in my head. I was like, I really want a double vanity that's like necessary. Well, we ended up foregoing that when we picked this place. And I think it's just because like the good outweighed the bad in this place.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 2 bathrooms. But I will say, I will never make that decision again.
You
And
will
like,
double vanity it up.
has to be double vanity. Also, like, our bathroom is like small and the door situation doesn't make sense. Like, how the door opens into the bathroom, like, wastes a lot of space. And I hate our bathroom. And it makes like the whole experience just like my shit, I feel like is everywhere. And I don't even think I have that many, like, I don't think I have that many products compared to like a lot of other girls. But yeah, I will say that's like a big thing that I'll not do that again.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I really like our bathroom because we have a window in our shower.
That is
So it
really,
can
really
like
nice.
open up. So like you can take a shower and like look at the Capitol building and the high rises and all that stuff while you're
Yeah.
just naked, you know? So that's like kind of like, I like our bathroom. I just wish we had
Katie,
another
I'm
one.
picturing you just like standing at the window in your shower, like naked, just like looking out the window like this.
Well, it's a vertical open. So like you're either all out or
Oh,
closed
damn.
open. But like that's a nice, I really like that one because I've had some very interesting bathroom situations. Like my first single apartment was huge bathroom, double vanity, massive tub. I think I picked that apartment because it was one of those big like garden tubs, I think they're called. Loved it. It was great. Like so much space. And then my second apartment, the bathroom was the smallest bathroom I've ever been in my life. Like I don't
I'm
think,
trying to remember.
well, it had like, so the toilet and bathtub were in a separate room, but like there was no fan. So like it was always very humid in there. It was
Mm,
very small and like kind of cramped. Like the vanity was fine. It was just a sink. It was 2 sinks, I think. Like the vanity part was fine, but like the bathroom area was like not cute. Not that it needed to be cute, but it was just like not very relaxing. But like this
yeah,
bathroom I
yeah.
really like because like the window's nice and like, you know, there's some space. I put some cute shelves on the wall, kind of little thing to make it like cuter, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. But bathrooms surprisingly very important in, when living with people. Because like before, I guess when we all lived together, we all essentially had our own bathroom or barely shared with someone else, but it was like very casual. But I guess with a partner, it seems much more like you're in each other's
Mm-hmm.
space a lot more.
Yeah.
So yeah, bathrooms.
They're important. I wonder if everybody else thinks they're important.
I wonder. I guess we'll
Also
find
might be a
out.
girl thing.
Yeah, we need a dude perspective on this.
Ryan, do you care about bathrooms when it comes to finding a place to live together? Did you hear that?
No, you have to
He
say it.
said,
What do you
yeah,
say?
because I want you to be happy. He has a PR person, if you can't tell.
That's good. That's a good one. Kara's complained about the bathroom a lot, apparently.
It really is like I think I've been kind of feeling like our apartment is a prison lately. Like, part of me thinks it's like this psychological thing of we don't have any direct access to outside. Like, our windows
Mhm.
don't even open up. And I think it's like taking a toll on me.
You also only face one direction, and you get
Yeah.
like the lights, like lighting and view. I think is very important when it comes to an apartment, like what you
Yes.
see. Because my last apartment literally looked out over a pool and like a wall, and this one I can
Yeah.
like see things, and it's actually like we also have a balcony too, which is really nice. So we can just go sit out there
Mm-hmm.
and be outside without having to like, you know, go
Yeah.
outside. It really
Yeah.
does, I think, make a big.
I think that's important.
Mhm.
Um,
Would you say for you that bathrooms were the most surprising thing when you and Ryan moved in together, or would you think it's something else?
no, most surprising thing. I would say the most surprising thing for me when we first moved in together is how like stressful the moving process, like how for me it like exponentially gets more stressful with another person. Like
Oh yeah.
moving is stressful in general, but like when you're able, at least for me, when I'm able to like make all the decisions and like I know what's going to happen and like whatever, like for me it was a little bit easier. But like when you're then compromising on like all these little decisions about like literally everything, like renting a U-Haul, paying for movers, what time you're going to, especially for us because we like had to drive to DC,
Yeah,
what
y'all's
time
were all
you're going to get
long
up, like
moves.
yeah, like did we reserve this, did we talk to this, what do we do if the movers are bad, like all those things. That was surprising for me. It was also surprising to me like how living together was not like a difficult adjustment. Not that
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be, but I feel like a lot of people, or like I don't even know if it was like actual people who told me this or if it's just like the like society's like thing about moving in with people is like it's difficult, and
Mm-hmm.
it really wasn't for us. Like I will say that Ryan was like very easygoing about like how we decorated, how we set up. Like he's not arguing with me about anything. So that was really nice. He's not messy, but I am like way more organized. Like he will leave things sitting around, but he also cares a lot about not having dishes in the sink.
Okay.
So there's some
That's
balance
good.
there.
I mean, I would agree. I thought it was like a pretty easy transition in a way too. Like I think me and Daniel are a touch more messier than you guys, but we both
I would,
like put an
yeah,
effort to like make
yeah,
it not. Um and like before he if he's going out of town, I was like, well, we need to make sure we have X, Y, and Z done before you go. So that's less for me to do during the week if
yeah,
you're gone for like a longer period of time. So like
yes,
and he cooks a lot. So like that takes a lot of work off of me too, you know, like he cooks almost like
hmm,
every night unless I like really want to, which is super great. Like that is
yeah,
honestly really fucking nice. I love it.
yeah, yeah. That
um
is really nice.
so
Okay, what
yeah.
about like so you talked about you weren't ready to move in when you guys first had the conversation after being together for like a year.
Hmm.
So how do you know when you are ready?
I don't know, I think it was more like I think it wasn't necessarily that I didn't want to move in with him, it was that I still wanted to live by myself. It was more of like that was the decision, but I don't know, maybe those
Hmm.
two are connected at the same time.
Was it because like did you know you were ready to move in with him because you felt like you had kind of had the experience that you wanted to have for living on your own? And like you're like, I've kind of had like enough of this that
Hmm.
I'm ready to move in with you. I feel like Ryan and I wanted to wait to move in with Ryan until like I knew we were like really spending our life together. So
Hmm.
like he owned a house in Charleston or owns a house in Charleston, and I could have moved in there, but I didn't really want to. Um I wanted to live by myself. His house was like his space. And I didn't want to like for me, I think like meeting family, meeting parents, moving in together, like those have all like been very weighty decisions for me. So like I
Hmm.
felt like they carried a lot of weight to make that decision. And so like moving in was a part of that. Like I just didn't want to move in until we had really like decided we wanted to spend our life together. Because for me, like moving in and conjoining lives, I was just like, that's a big decision to make. And if we're not like going to be spending our life together, I didn't want to have to entertain the idea of like having to then
Unconjoining.
separate our lives and like how hard
Yeah.
that would be. So I think it when we talked about like maybe moving in together or like what do we want to do with our lives or like do you want to stay in Charleston? Do you want to move and live elsewhere? Those conversations then kind of like forced us to decide like what does our relationship look like? Do we want to be together forever? And so it forced like these series of conversations and just like figuring out what we wanted out of our relationship. And then which led to us like deciding like we want to get married and like we want to spend our life together. And then so we got engaged before we had moved in together.
Hmm.
And then I do think it was funny like after we got engaged I had people ask me if we were going to move in together, But I was
Like
like,
right after, like the
yeah,
next week or something? Oh.
yes. I was like, I have a lease. Like I locked in a lease for like
And
8
I was,
more months. Like, no. And also like we lived a few miles from each other. I was like, no, like it's fine. Um, so I thought that was interesting. But yeah, that's like kind of that's always been my approach to thinking about living with somebody. And I think I also
mhm.
like always wanted to prove to myself. Like I grew up with a single mom and like a lot of very strong female personalities who constantly like embedded in me like don't ever rely on a man. Make sure like you have your own money, make sure you can take care of yourself, like don't rely on a man. So I think
Mhm.
that's also contributed to me being like, I want to get to a point where I can take care of myself. Then I know if I'm moving in with someone, like it's serious, we're
Mhm.
intentional about it, like that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So that's like how I've always felt about it, which I think is like a good segue into our polls.
Yes.
So I can't remember how many people took the polls. So
That's
sorry.
okay.
We're not going to have that
1
information.
million people.
I only
Hundreds.
yeah, I only screenshot the actual polls, but this is what people said when I said, when would you prefer to move in with a partner?
Mhm.
35% of people said as soon as it makes sense logistically.
Mhm.
Okay. 50% of people said after a certain amount of time together. 5% of people said once we're engaged or married. And 10% of people said, I prefer living separately forever.
Oh. That's a good numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And so then I think that's also a good segue into like some of these statistics that I found from Pew Research, which like I'm not saying these are surprising. Maybe they will be surprising to some people, but probably not to most people our age. So a larger share of adults have cohabited than have been married. So it's now more common to have lived together than to have gotten married. Surprising to you or not?
Is it like live and not get married, like just continue to live with partners and never get married, or is it like just stay with someone and just
Um,
never like actually tie the knot, but be with them for a long time?
so I'll read from this just so that there's not anything that's like unclear. I'll read from the article directly.
Perfect.
Among adults aged 18 to 44, 59% have lived with an unmarried partner at some point in their lives, while 50% have ever been married. By contrast,
Okay.
in 2002, 54% of adults in this age group had ever cohabited and 60% had married. Most adults aged 18 to 44 who have cohabited, which is 62%, have only ever lived with one partner, but 38% have had two or more partners over the course of their life.
Okay, so it sounds like people are
So living
cohabitating, but they're
together
not getting married.
is more common than
Mm-hmm.
getting married within this age group.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's for financial reasons because of how
Katie,
expensive everything is.
great question. That is set. We've this
Yeah.
whole episode is segue to segue to segue. So this article is from Pew Research, and there's like 7 different points, right? And so one of the points, where is it? So there's probably a couple of the points in here that are going to answer your question and probably cause more questions, but this says many cohabitors cite finances as a reason why they are not engaged or married to their partner. Does that kind of get to like the point you're asking is money the reason more people are
Well, I
living
wasn't
together and not
thinking
being
the
married?
money was the. I didn't think the money was the reason that they weren't getting married. I think it was money is the reason that they were just like trying to live their lives, with just
Mhm.
like how expensive certain things are. Like my first solo apartment's rent, what with parking and everything, was probably $2,200 a month.
Mhm. In Denver.
I in Denver. Yep. Kind of think I made a mistake because that was very expensive for my budget, but I also didn't really know what I was doing cuz I
You
never lived
feel like you
alone. I
made a
did.
mistake by doing that?
I not to say made a mistake, but like financially was like, I could have found something maybe a little bit less nice and saved $500 because my next apartment, total everything, was probably 1750. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
was sort of like, wow, I feel like I just blew $6,000
But you didn't live
just
there
because
for
of that
very
place.
long.
Yeah, I lived there for about like 14 months,
Yeah.
a little bit over a year, which was like fine. I really, there was like a lot of things about it that I liked. It was a good, I think, initial place for me to being in a new city. I felt like safe and all these other things. But then as I got more, was like living here, I was like, ooh, I think I'm getting a little scammed.
Mm-hmm.
But like part of that, outside just living being expensive, I think now me and Daniel pay like $1,000 each
Mm-hmm.
for rent. So it's like, I think not necessarily because it's people can't afford to get married, it's that people can't necessarily like afford to live
Separately.
and save and separately. Yeah. If you don't have roommates and you're living alone, like I was considering having roommates, but I also wanted to try the solo living, which I'm
Mm-hmm.
really glad I did. I definitely don't regret it, even though whatever, who cares? Like the money was a thing, like, but that's why I got a cheaper apartment, you know, instead made different decisions instead of just staying in that situation. But I think it's not necessarily about people can't afford to get married. As I think people can't afford to
Yeah. So this
do
this
stuff.
is interesting. This covers that a little bit. So this talks about the reasons that people decide to get married and the reasons that people decide to live together. And
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting. So it says 4 in 10 cohabiting adults cite finances and convenience as major reasons why they moved in with their partner. By comparison, 13% of married adults cite finances and 10% cite convenience as reasons that they decided to get married.
Mm-hmm.
Then it talks about among both married and cohabiting adults, love and companionship top the list of reasons why they decided to get married or move in with their partner. 90% of married adults and 73% of cohabiting adults say love was a major factor in their decision. About 2/3 of married adults and 61% of cohabiting adults cite companionship as a major factor.
Yeah.
Then it says cohabiting women are more likely than cohabiting men to say that love and wanting to have children someday were major reasons why they moved in with their partner.
What did
For
men say?
example, what'd you say?
I said, what did men say was their major reason?
Let's see. It says, for example, 80% of cohabiting women cite love as a major factor, compared with 63% of cohabiting men. No gender differences are evident on this question among married adults. Yeah, and then it shows this interesting graphic, but it doesn't break it down by gender. But it breaks it down by like people who live with partners versus people who are married and like the decisions they decided. Is anything sounding interesting to you? Can you see it? Well,
Yeah, I can see it.
I can probably zoom in actually a little on the graphic.
I mean, I love how there's a pregnant section at the bottom.
I know. I just was looking at that.
Like the married, it makes sense why the married stats are more like love, future plans kind of things, and sort of the
Mm-hmm.
living with partners seem very sort of like
A little more practical
a little more
reasons.
practical, yeah. Which again, both are valid. Like obviously, like I love Daniel. That's part of why we
Mm-hmm.
are living together is that we care about each other and want to spend time
Yeah.
together. Like it makes it a lot easier when you do live with someone to do those things and like actually
Mm-hmm.
try to like see life being built like that.
I think that's also because like today, and this is just an assumption, but I mean we are looking at data.
Mm-hmm.
I think marriage is more like love based today than like financial or
I have to.
before it was like
Yeah.
about the family unit or keeping a certain status. And I think now like
Mm-hmm.
we know that a lot of like marriage today is more romantic love based,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is also, it has good things and negative things that come with it. But let's
Yeah.
see if there's any other interesting data
I
here.
love data. We love data on this podcast.
There's a lot in each one, so it's kind of
Interesting.
hard to
So
focus.
if you're not engaged with no college experience, are less likely to see cohabitation as a step towards marriage. That's
Mm-hmm.
interesting. So if you didn't go to college, you might see that as like it maybe it's more of a liberal minded thing. Like when I say liberal,
Well,
I don't mean like politically liberal. I
I
mean
think
like
people with no college experience tend to make less money. So it's even
mhm,
more of like a financially motivated decision is probably what it is.
to
Because
get
right,
married.
the
Yeah.
data before is like if you're just living together and not married, right? Like we saw it was more of a financial decision rather than marriage. And so I think, right, if you don't
Hmm.
have college experience, you're less likely to have like a higher pay. So again, you're making a decision that's more practical. It's not really about marriage.
I wonder if that's related to the and I hope I'm not incorrect on that stat about how like the higher educated are having less kids. You know what I mean? For like
Mm,
practical reasons. Like I think a lot
yeah.
it's less um sometimes I think maybe the higher educated, the less likely you are to fall into the like previous cultural norms, which were to get married at 24. You know, like my parents did. They got married at 24, were dated in college, you know what I mean? Like they didn't have
Hmm.
kids for like 8 years, I think, but like that was still like what they decided to do instead of just like, you know, not. I can't imagine marrying my college boyfriend, to be honest, when I think about that.
Damn,
So
Katie,
like
shots fired.
okay, they're already married, so whatever. Like no shots fired. No shots fired at all.
I think this
That's
one to
fun.
me is
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah. Because you have the commitment.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I wonder if that differs based on gender though.
By the way, this graph is married adults have more positive views of how things are going in their relationship. So if you're married, you're more likely to say
Yeah.
it's going very well versus fairly well. So,
And it says married adults. Yeah, I guess that's the topic is the same as the graph. So for
mhm.
people who are not watching us on YouTube, which you should,
Yeah. Come on. Come on.
do both. Do the audio first and then do video. But this point says married adults have higher levels of relationship satisfaction and trust than those living with a partner. It has like a little bit more of a statistical breakdown like in this section of the article, and then it also comes with a fun little graph.
It said
um
like generally you're feeling better if you do live together or married, but married people feel more secure or satisfied
mhm.
outside those living with a partner.
But as coming from like a woman's perspective, at least, like I think that makes
Hmm.
sense. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
think
it does.
for women a lot of like what they want is this like security and like knowing, right? And a lot of the reason that like people get married is like, well, I guess that's not the reason, but like a big benefit that comes with it once you know that you want this person is that like you feel more secure.
Hmm.
um at least that's how it should be, right? Like if you're getting married and you don't feel more secure, that's probably a red flag.
Yeah, I would think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully that isn't the case, but
I'm trying to see if there's
any
anything
other
else
cool
in here.
graphs?
um this one I think is
That's just a
kind of,
social
yeah, if this isn't really
it's
surprising
good
to me
fun.
either. This might be surprising to like older people, but I think our generation. And
Oh
this says,
yeah.
yeah, we have to read it. Most
Oh yeah.
Americans say cohabitation is acceptable even if a couple doesn't plan to get married.
So that just seems like a generational thing. Yeah.
It also says while most Americans say cohabitation is acceptable, many see societal benefits in marriage. A narrow majority of Americans, 53%, say that society is better off if couples who want to stay together long term eventually get married, while 46% say society is just as well off if they decide not to marry.
I mean, at some point you're common law married anyway, which I think sort of gives you the same social benefits. I think. I'm not sure
Mm-hmm.
exactly though, because I'm not common law married, but like there's certain things like if you're unmarried and like an accident happens, you aren't power of attorney like by default.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like medical things. I don't know. Do you know any off the top of your head that you get as a perk or like a benefit
No,
socially
when you
from
get
being
married, they
married?
don't hand you a packet and say, like, these are all the great things you get from it, which they should.
Taxes. I think there's a tax thing, maybe.
Yeah,
for filing
there
jointly.
can be tax things. But sometimes it's beneficial to file jointly. Sometimes it's beneficial to file separately. It just depends on your specific situation.
Yeah.
I don't think we've looked at the last one. Most Americans favor allowing unmarried couples to have the same legal rights as married couples.
Interesting. Let's see. So, like, a pre-marriage? I mean, to be fair, like, if someone's unemployed, I couldn't get on my partner's health insurance now because we're not married. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah, health
that is a
insurance.
concern. Those are things that, like, especially I think it's just, I don't know, maybe in general society is moving slightly away from marriage, slightly maybe, I don't know, I'm just assuming based off of this thing right here.
What should I type in to find that out?
Marriage rates by year maybe, or decade or something.
Probably is marriage
Marriage
popular. Might be a good
popular.
search cue. You guys can teach. What the fuck?
You can't say popular.
Popularity.
Marriage trends. We're gonna keep this in so people can watch how we Google. Here we go. Maybe the future of the family or something.
This is pessimistic. This is like attitude.
Oh.
That could be one.
Oh, perspective.
But
okay.
or this one, key trends in marriage. I think this one might be better, but we can look at that one too if this one doesn't give us what we want. Modern American family, key trends in marriage and family life.
In 1976, 67% of Americans aged 25 to 49 were living with their spouse and one or more children younger than 18.
Also 1970, not 1960.
Oh, did I say 1960? Oops.
You're lying about the data, Katie.
Sorry.
Over the past 5 decades, that share has dropped to 37%.
Married with
kids. Wow. That's married with kids. Okay. This is interesting.
Oh, okay, perfect.
With the drop in the share of adults living with a spouse and children, there has been an increase in other types of family living arrangements, like unmarried adults raising children.
So it looks like with married with kids decreasing from 67% to 37%, it looks like cohabiting with kids jumped from 0 to 5. Unpartnered with kids is about between 4 to 6%. Married, no kids. Yeah, married with no kids, roughly about the same.
But I would say this one, married, no kids, kind of surprises me because people are talking about it being like so many people like are married and not having kids. But this says in 1970, that was 18%, 2021, 21%. So it hasn't changed that much.
No, but you do have the 7% of those other numbers that were cohabiting, no kids. So unmarried and no kids jumped from 0 to 7%. And then people living with other family members. So maybe they feel like they can't have kids because they're taking care of elderly family or disabled family or something like that. That went from 5 to 11.
Americans are marrying later in life, rising share of never been married.
Wow. From never married, 17% is going all the way up to 31% from 1970 to 2021. Wow. And married dropped from 69 to 50%.
While the overall share of married adults has declined, certain types of marriages have become more common over time. Since the 1970s, a growing share of Americans are in interracial or interethnic marriages.
Hell yeah.
That's great. I don't feel like going through the rest of it. This is enough data.
We're a data podcast now.
But yeah, okay, so that was interesting. Let me see what else, if we have any good polls that we remained. Oh, we just said, have you ever lived with a partner before? 60% of people who took the poll said yes. 40% said no. Have you had to move out from living with a partner? 42% said yes. 58% said no. I will say I could have worded that question differently because I looked at the results and I know people who have lived with partners who no longer live with their partner. And they said, no, they've never had to move out because they answered it on a technicality of like, they didn't move out, but their partner did.
Okay.
So I'm like,
Do you ever
that's
have to disjoin?
yes. So I know that number is higher. It's
So it's probably like
about
50-50
half.
maybe.
Yeah, I think it's pretty evenly split. Um, advice that we got, hire movers.
Ooh. Yes,
I
I
think
agree.
that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said live by yourself.
Forever.
Someone said have a backup plan for the first 3 to 6 months of living together. I
Oh.
asked this person if they wanted to expand, and they said no. I was like, would you like to share your experience, like provide more context? And they said no. Also, we had someone say, I said, share your moving in together stories. They talked about not a romantic moving in together, but they said, I moved in with two dumb boys who smelled like farts, and then they would go make out. So it wasn't really a romantic situation. Nonetheless, thank you for sharing your experience with us. And this person also did share audio messages with us. And yeah, this person they're not sharing their experience of living with their significant other, but this is what we got, so we're going to share it.
There was one instance where one of them had a habit of only cleaning when they would be expecting company. And they came downstairs one day and were like huffing and puffing and like, I hate it here. God, it always looks terrible. And so I said, well, if you didn't only clean the house once a month when you were expecting company, it wouldn't be like that. And then the other one chimed in, as if I was the bad guy for saying that. The other one chimed in and said, it's easy for you. You don't have a job. That was shortly after COVID when I had gotten let go for not, COVID related stuff. So that was fun. And there was another instance when my brother still lived there. And I swear this is a true story. I had seen a meme of someone jumping up and down. And it made like a clapping noise. And I was like, I want to try that. So I was in like the bathroom, about to take a shower, trying to like see if I could like make a noise, see if I had a little something. And I ended up making the tiniest clap. But I'm so excited about it that I run downstairs after my shower, and my brother is talking to his then girlfriend on the back porch. And I go out there and I'm like, hey, I did it. I made my butt clap. And he comes inside and then tells me that they were breaking up when I came out. That they were in the middle of a breakup. When I told him and his girlfriend that, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That was great.
That was great.
That's why you don't live with your siblings. Or why you do live with
Yeah.
your siblings, so you have great stories.
That's a separate pod episode. Living with friends and siblings versus partner. But
Yeah. But thank you so much. We'll protect that person's identity. We won't say their name, but thanks for submitting. No, I don't think any comment is needed on any of those recordings because they kind of speak for themselves.
They really do.
It's like music.
You just react and you feel it emotionally.
Yeah, you just feel it. And you're going to ruin it. Sometimes when like a song is so good, you don't need words. You're just going to ruin it if you try to say anything.
So we'll leave it a moment of silence because that was great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I think this was a good episode.
Yeah, I think we talked a lot about, I mean, a full on moving in and sort of like living together process. Obviously, I think there's more things to talk about, but like it's interesting to see some of those statistics where it's like you feel like more people are cohabitating, less people are getting married. Because to me, it always seemed like that's on the path too, not in lieu of. And I feel like that seems like that might be changing some societally, or yeah. So that's interesting.
Yeah, well, there was like, and I can't remember if we went over this, but there was like something specific about, there was data on like X% of people say that it's like a step before marriage.
Yeah.
We probably talked about it.
Yeah. And it seemed like from the polls that people responded to, like a good, like most of the people said after a certain period of time. And I feel like that's probably because like a certain period of time with them with their partner, that like this is the next step before the next one. So it seemed like your 5% pre-engagement was a little bit of the outliers there, but that makes a lot of sense too, you know?
Totally.
Thank you everyone so much for listening to our super serious moving in with your partner podcast episode. Very data heavy, very stats focused, but I think from the data we've shown and like our stories from all of the people who responded to our Instagram polls, I think it was very insightful into like what people's expectations are cohabitating with their partner prior to marriage or in lieu or beforehand or whatever. I think it was very interesting to see all the different perspectives. I feel like that's super interesting nowadays that everyone's kind of doing their own thing. But I thought it was super cool. And I think as I'm living more with my partner, I'm sure I'll have more hot takes. Carrie, you've been living with Ryan for what, like 3 years now? 4 years?
3. Going on 4, I guess.
Going on 4. Like, there's definitely more to talk about, and we will be here.
Yeah.
Serving it.
Yeah, we hope the data wasn't too hard to follow, like listening. If it is, maybe we'll do like a share. We'll share, you know, like the graphics, or like we can put together some social media posts that share the stuff more clearly.
The stats. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, and be sure to follow us on Instagram at Life in the Party Pod, TikTok at Life in the Party Pod,
and YouTube at Life in the Party. So thank you guys so much.
Thanks. We
talk to you later.
Bye.
Billy, bye.